Yo, yo, what up, my good people in the YouTube world and beyond? It's your boy, Outlier B, and we right back about you cats with another video, another week, another term of possibilities, my people. And what are you cats up to, man? What you cats got planned for the weekend, my people? What do you guys got planned for the week? How was your weekend? And what's going on? How y'all feeling, man? What up? It's the outlier, and I'm right back about you cats, man. Right back about you cats, yo. And it's Monday, and everything's right for the picking. Everything is right for the picking. Remember, it's a new week, new possibilities, new chances to set your goals, man. And it's never, ever, ever too late, my people. So what y'all got planned for today, man? What do you guys want to achieve? What direction are those arrows pointing in, my people? We got a great episode lined up for you. We're going to talk about the weekend. We're going to talk about what is planned for this week. And we're going to speak more about those arrows pointing in the direct direction. You know, I look at a lot of this stuff, man, and just look at it as planning, man. And I mentioned this last week, and I think that I must mention it again, man, about planning. If you don't plan, I'm about to mess up the saying, but if you, how they say it, you plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, you basically planning to fail, man. And I spent so much of my life with no plan, man. No plan and no direction. No plan and no direction. Well, my birthday is coming up this month, right smack dab in the middle of the month, my people. So that always get me to thinking, man. Gets me to thinking about my career, gets me to thinking about my personal life, gets me to thinking about my health, and to thinking about relationships. Man, all these things mean something, my people. All these things mean something. I'm telling you, when you young, you think that you got your time is infinite. Like nothing ever happens. You understand? When you're young, you think you got all the time in the world. But as you start getting older, as your health begins to deteriorate, you begin to thinking about those long-term plans, my people. Long-term plans. And we got 19 people in the check-in. Hit that like button, my people, if this is something that you're into. And what is this? I'm just a regular brother walking to work from 4:30 to 5 a.m. every single day, telling you guys about the work week. So, what's up, man? Where you guys checking in from, man? Drop it in the comment section. Let me know where you checking in from. Let me know what you got planned for this week. Let me know some of your wishes, man. You know, some of your wishes. What's going on? We got my boy on the check-in, BRCB2EQ said hi. We got Royce OutLIer-ENT said hi. What's going on? Where you guys checking in from, man? Where you guys checking in from? And what time is it over there? What time is it over there, man? Yeah, I'm straight. It's Monday. I spent my whole week in New York because that's where I'm from. And I did a lot of walking this weekend, my people. A lot of walking. A lot of walking around in Manhattan, getting to look at my city. And you guys know how I love to experience new places. And New York is one of those cities, man, where no matter how long that you live there, you can always find something new to do. And the cool thing about living in New York is that sometimes you don't even have to really have a plan. You could just tell yourself, all right, I'm gonna walk around the city, man. Walk around Central Park, and there's so much to discover over there in Central Park. That is crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, just imagine a big city like New York with all the buildings, all the people that we have, and then just right smack dab in the middle of that city, you have a big park, man. A park where so many things are happening. And we got somebody in the check-in. BRCB2EQ said up working from Harlem, Manhattan, and it's about 4:39. Shout out to my people in Harlem. Yes, sir. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I was just speaking about Manhattan, and Harlem is a place that I definitely love. There were times where I took a walk from Harlem all the way up to Central Park, man, and it's official. It's a very, very, very good walk. We talking where I walk from in Harlem, like 147th Street, going all the way down to Central Park. So y'all count the blocks. That's like 47 blocks. You understand what I'm saying? But again, when you coming from Harlem, you depending on the parts of Harlem, because Harlem got different parts. But depending on where you're coming from in Harlem, you walk by 125th. So if you're coming from like 140th Street, around that direction, going down, you go through so many different neighborhoods out there in Harlem. And Harlem is cool because you get to see some of the blocks and some of the names of some influential African American people who did a lot in this country. So you'll see Marcus Garvey Boulevard. You'll see Malcolm X. I was walking over there and was surprised to see John Henry Clark Way. You guys know who John Henry Clark is? We got somebody on the check-in. They said up working. Okay. Somebody said, where are you going, bro? I'm going to work, walking to the train station, my people. Walking to the train station. What about you? Somebody said, where are you from? I'm straight from Freeport, Long Island, Freeport slash Hempstead. It is a little suburb outside of New York City, Nassau County. We about maybe 30 minutes away from Queens, about 45 minutes to an hour away from Manhattan. That's where we are. Somebody said, where are you from? I just said that. Somebody said watching from New Zealand. Shout out to the people in New Zealand. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to the people in New Zealand, man. Damn, I get people checking me from there. That is definitely a place where I would love to go, to New Zealand, my people. See the people out there in New Zealand. See some of the animals. I definitely like to see it out there, man. Uh, I got mad stuff to say about animals. I was watching some stuff this weekend on Netflix, man, but that's a topic for another show. We got somebody who came in and said Hamilton Place. Somebody said West Side, Hamilton Place. Okay, okay. Somebody said Strong Island, shout out from Cali. Oh, he know about Strong Island. Shout out to my people in Cali. I'm surprised you know about Strong Island, man. Where you hear that term from? Where you hear that term from? All right, so my man said he's from the West Side, Hamilton Place. I don't really know Harlem like that. I don't know really like the areas where people are from, but I do know a little bit about Sugar Hill, like I was telling y'all from. So like 147th, around there, 140th, that's like Sugar Hill. And I took a walk up that hill. So you guys see, I like to walk every single day, son, every single day. But this is a flat walk in Freeport, a flat walk. But over there in Sugar Hill, man, you walk to, I forget the name of the park, but I walked over there too. Not just Central Park. There's another park over there in Harlem that I walked to. And you got to walk up the hill. And yo, that hill is no joke, my people. It is no joke when you walking up that hill. Like you really, really, really feel it, you know? So that's definitely a great walk, you know? But let's get back. Somebody said, that's Sugar Hill. Yup, he already know. So yeah, you walking up that hill over there in Sugar Hill, it is no joke, my people. It's a beautiful park that you get to over there. Again, I forget the name of the park. It's not Central Park, but it's a beautiful park that you get over there, because you could walk, see the water. They have a pool over there. They have basketball courts. They got a nice big track So those areas are good to get your walkout on. You could jump rope, you could do your pull-ups, anything you want to do over there. It's definitely cool, you know. But Central Park, man, I'm in love with me some Central Park, yo. You got all your bikers out there. That's a place where I need to oil up my bike and go, because there was so many people just riding their bikes and just enjoying themselves, man. You had dogs in Central Park. You got different areas where you could look at some water. They have baseball and softball fields over there. They got events that go on in Central Park. And just think about it, man. This is right slap dab in the middle of one of the most busiest cities in the world, son. Not just the United States, but the world. And it's cool, man. It's definitely cool. Uh, One day we will talk about Seneca Village, which they plowed over to get to that. And that's a story within itself, man. A story within itself. Somebody said New York accent. Yeah, I got a New York accent, but it's more of a Long Island type accent. So again, we close to the city, but not really that close. You understand? So when people think of a Long Island accent, they think more of who got like a Long Island accent. I'm trying to think of when you think about Long Island, what type of accent you think of. A lot of people think of like, because we known for like who would y'all think of to be a Long Islander? So like you'll look at like John Gotti Jr., like those type of people. They rich and they in a whole different part of Long Island, but a lot of people think of like an Italian accent, and they think of that as like a Long Island accent. I would say they're thinking of like an Italian accent that's kind of similar to the Italian accent that you get in Brooklyn and Staten, like those type of places, Staten Island. You'll think of those type of accents, but we're a little bit different. We definitely a little bit different, a little slower pace. Y'all see, we got a lot of space over here in Long Island. So it's definitely a little different. Would I say I have a New York accent? Yeah, I do, but just not as strong as other people. You know, you'll think of a Brooklyn accent. You'll think of people in Staten Island. You'll think of people in the Bronx. You'll think of some people in Brooklyn with like a island accent mixed in with the Americas. But nah, I ain't got that. My people from the sit out, son. My people are from the sit out. Somebody said the park you're referring to is Riverbank. Yup, he's 100% right. Michael is behind you. I'm about to go check and see if Michael behind me. Michael Myers ain't behind me, so I'm gonna keep walking. Yeah, Riverbank Park. He is 100% correct. And I like that park too. I definitely like that park, man. I love the city. I definitely love this city. Over there in Sugar Hill, like Rucker. The Rucker is over there. It's cool. You also have, I think the Giants used to play over there. Damn, and I feel bad because I'm a baseball fan. So what is it, Ebbets Field? That was over there. The projects now is buildings before where it wasn't buildings. What is that, Ebbets Field? Or is that Polo Grounds? I think it's Polo Grounds I'm talking about. Yeah, it's Polo Grounds over there. The housing projects that they got over there. But I love me some Harlem, man. I love me some Harlem. The only thing I don't like about Harlem is them damn Chinese restaurants, son. Them Chinese restaurants only go on cash. And that's mad disrespectful, son. How you just gonna go on cash, man? Everybody in the neighborhood accept cards. But then you go into these Chinese restaurants and they only accept cash, man. What's that about, man? What's that about? Somebody on the check-in said, somebody said, where you coming / going to at this time of the day? Where am I coming / going? I'm on my way to work, baby. On my way to work. You know, I got a 5 o'clock train to catch over here at the train station. So we on our way over there. Waiting to start my week, man. Waiting to start my week. I don't know what's in front of me for the week, but it's all very, very, very engaging. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I do know is that I'm prepared for it, man. Definitely prepared for it. Whatever the week got to throw at me. Somebody came in and said counterfeit. Troy Brown said counterfeit. What you talking about, Troy Brown? What is counterfeit, my brother? What are these words you speak of? What's counterfeit? What is counterfeit? Yeah. Yeah, I like being out here at this time of the night, man, or this time of the morning, getting my little jump out on the world, getting started early, seeing what's good. Definitely feels good, my people. Definitely feels good. Somebody said Polo Grounds is correct. Yeah, Polo Grounds. Yep. Polo Grounds. I love, man. I love that area. And even from Sugar Hill, you could walk to Yankee Stadium because the Bronx is just straight up over it ain't even no real bridge. You could just walk straight to the Bronx, man. You know? And the Bronx is a whole different world, man. The Bronx is a whole different world. I love both of them, man. I love both of them. Like I used to deal with somebody back in the days, son. We used to live on the Grand Concourse, like on 176th around there. And that's the straight up hood, my people. Straight up hood over there, man. You know? And that was one of the only places in New York, one of the only places, like, I've been throughout the city and plenty of places. I'm gonna tell you, there's only two places, actually three places in New York where I've been pressed like, damn, all right, I gotta move. And the nature of my job, what I used to do is I used to make sure that people wasn't committing fraud on my company. And it's like a transportation company. And it's like they transport people, but the fact of the matter is you could get to any place in New York City for $3. So just imagine that. $3 and you could travel from Staten Island to Far Rockaway. So you'll have one person in the building and they'll give their ID out to everybody, because it's like a cab service they tried to use us as. So I used to go out there and make sure that the people who were supposed to take the ride were actually the people taking the ride. And one place I got pressed at was Southside Jamaica, Queens. Southside Jamaica, Queens, right off the Van Wyck. I was chilling over there and somebody, like I was on the corner, just, making sure that the person who was supposedly taking the ride is the person taking the ride. And one of them cats, um, y'all, if y'all not from the area, but y'all don't know, but it's a corner, and somebody named Dollar Bill. I don't even know who the hell he is. I'm not from Queens. He had passed away, so they put a mural on the building, and I'm sitting over there just chilling, looking for the person taking the ride. And cats rolled up and was like, "Yo, get off the corner, son! Like you selling over here. Get off the corner." So that's the time I got pressed in New York and had to get off the corner. Another time, I was doing the same exact thing. And the vehicle, the company vehicle that we had was a Crown Vic. So I'll park outside of people's cribs with a Crown Vic. And this was in Brooklyn. And there's one of them areas in Brooklyn where, I'm not going to say they not supposed to still exist, but over there, they still exist. You understand what I'm saying? And they saw me. So they kept coming back, looking. And one official cat, son, Italian dude, I'll just say that, Italian cat. And this ain't one of them fake ass Italian dudes who y'all think just walking around. This a thug Italian, and you can see it on his face. And he like, yo, what you doing over here? And I'm like, yo, I'm just chilling. And he's like, yo, you ain't no cop, are you? And I'm like, nah, I ain't no cop. He's like, you sure you ain't no cop? And I'm like, nah, I ain't no cop. He's like, all right, just as long as you ain't no cop. And they kept eyes on me, yo. And I was in an Italian neighborhood over there where they pressed me, you know? So it's crazy. So I do love New York, but in some parts you do gotta be careful. You do gotta be careful. I'm getting up out of here, you know. Uh, this is my stop at 7-Eleven. We about to go make myself a black tea. Somebody said, let me see what they talking about. Somebody said English poison. What you talking about, English poison? Somebody said have a great week. To be in the 70s. Yeah, they're supposed to be in the 70s this week. Hopefully, we get that. Somebody said Harlem Chinese restaurants afraid of. Oh, okay, you was talking about counterfeits when I was talking about the Chinese restaurants. Yeah, they're afraid of fake bills. They also afraid of those chargebacks when people put money on their debit card and then they fight the charges. And I hear from, I put that in Copilot why they do that, and that's what they told me. Somebody said a lot of walking to your bus/train. When is it winter/snowing? Um, we just got past the winter phase. So out here it's the springtime, man. It's gonna be nice and warm from this point on. So we talking like, 50s and 60s is May. So we got May, June, July, August, September. So around September, it started getting cold out here in New York, and we just ended. If you guys go back and check some of my pages, y'all see nothing but snow on the ground from December to like February over here, man. You know what I mean? That's what we was getting. So we got somebody else on the check-in. They said cops are following you, bro. Watch your back. The police station is over there. They might have been following me, but they ain't mess with me today. And we got somebody on the check-in from Massachusetts, my boy Tro Brown. How you know so much about New York if you from Massachusetts? Oh, same weather. You're right. You're right. Exactly. But I'm up out of here, man. Thanks everybody for checking in. Shout out to my people in Massachusetts. I just came back from Boston a few months ago. That was one of the cities along the eastern coast that I told y'all cats I was gonna visit. I went over there. So shout out to my people in Boston. I love y'all. We up out here, man. Thanks everybody from checking in. And you have a great, wonderful day too, my boy. BR. Peace out, man.